My mom held me down while my dad finalized my wedding to an older man with 2 dead wives. I slipped out the night before and blew up the whole arrangement in court. Years later, my mom got sick and called me sobbing. Come back, your family. In my family, a girl's first period was a deadline. 12 or 14, it didn't matter. Blood meant you were ready, and the husband was usually 3 times your age. I didn't fully panic until I was 11 and watched my cousin get promised to a man in his 40 seconds, days after she bled. The women cheered. The men argued over price, so I stopped eating enough. Not for attention, for time. The thinner girls bled later, and later meant breathing room. They still trained me. Fridays before sunrise, I served the men in silence. Eye contact earned the belt. Soft hands earned hot pots. Bare skin. At night, my mom smeared whitening cream on my face and told me love was obedience. And yes, we lived in the U.S. At 14, a teacher noticed how small I was and pulled me aside. She stepped out, and her desk drawer sat half open. Inside were pamphlets about teen rights and marriage laws. I read one line and felt my stomach drop. Under 18 was illegal. No culture exception. No loophole. I stole a thin pamphlet and memorized it like scripture. Hotlines. Shelters. The exact words that triggered a mandatory report. I started a wife skills group in my uncle's tool shed. 6 younger cousins, all of us whispering practice lines. They're forcing me to marry. I'm 13. Please help. Then, at 15, my body betrayed me. Blood soaked through my dress during morning prep. My mom screamed with joy and kissed my cheeks like I'd done something heroic. By nightfall, my dad had picked my groom. Rich, older. 2 wives died young from kidney failure, according to the story. 2 days later, another cousin bled. They promised her too. I slipped her my notes and said, tell a teacher. Use the words. CPS showed up that night. After they left, my house became a witch hunt. My dad found my notebook, burned it in front of everyone, and called me contaminated. Then he smiled and said, wedding is tomorrow. Dawn came fast. My mom opened my door already dressed up. Get up, she ordered. We're late. I clutched my stomach and folded over. Mom, I'm sick. She hesitated. A sick bride was bad luck. Bathroom. 5 minutes. I locked the door. Then everything went slow. First, I shoved my bag through the tiny window. Next, I cracked the painted frame with my thumbs. Then I heard my dad shout, break it down. After that, the knob rattled like a warning. Then my hips stuck and I bit my tongue. Finally, the lock splintered as my legs cleared, and I dropped onto wet grass, barefoot and shaking. I ran through backyards while cars prowled the streets. I hid behind trash bins as my cousin yelled, check every block. I hit the bus stop as the doors opened. The driver stared at my bloody feet and torn nightgown and kept the door wide. I don't have money, I whispered. A woman up front dropped exact change into the box. Sit down, baby. Downtown, I limped into family court and blurted my script. I'm 15. They're forcing me to marry today. I need an emergency protective order. They granted it. The shelter was full, so I went straight to my teacher. She cleaned glass from my heel, and my phone started ringing nonstop. She answered one call. My dad's respectable voice filled the room. She's mentally ill. She needs medication. Then we heard men in the hallway. We know she's here. I rolled up my sleeves, burned circles, old bruises, belt marks. My teacher took photos and called 911. When police arrived, my dad stood there in a suit holding brand new prescription bottles with my name. Props. He smiled like he'd rehearsed it. My teacher pulled up my essays from class. Years of traditions that were really training and threats. Security footage showed them arriving with the fake meds already in hand. 2 weeks later in court, my family packed the benches. My mom cried on cue. My dad played the victim. My lawyer mentioned my groom's dead wives. That's when a young woman with a limp took the stand. I was his first wife. She said, I didn't die. She had medical records, photos, proof her family faked her death to hide her escape. She looked at my parents and said, they'd rather erase us than admit the truth. The judge made it permanent. No contact. Criminal charges if they tried. Years later, when my mom called me sick and begging, I kept my voice flat. You taught me family, I said. I learned the law. I chose life. Then I hung up.